Lifesaver was actually founded in 1987 in the garage of the house that I grew up in. My name is Eric Lupton, and I am the CEO of Lifesaver Pool Fence Systems. So I'm responsible for running the company that is Lifesaver Pool Fence. So all of the major strategic decisions, really the long-term vision and growth plan for the company falls on me, in addition to whatever other random and zany projects come up from time to time. I have a strong belief that there's a bunch of people out there with disabilities who don't think they can work. They've been told they can't work like I was. They look at their situation, whether it's physical or mental or psychological, whatever it is, whether it's anxiety, depression, or cerebral palsy. I think the answer is entrepreneurship. Because if you own your own business, if you're in charge of custom tailoring the environment to fit your specific needs, then you get to pick and you get to choose and you can build it that way. I better be smart, I better use my brain, because I'm never gonna be a roofer. And I had to figure out a way to double down on the things I was good at, because there's definitely a bunch of things I'm not good at.
My name is Chris Lupton. I am the VP of Research and Development. I basically design and create new products to keep us up to date with the markets and make sure we stay innovative and keep changing and making sure that we have the next best thing. So Lifesaver's core values have always remained the same, which our mission is to eradicate childhood drowning. It's a mission we push very strongly, not only with the products we make, but also with the message that we deliver, the awareness that water safety does deserve. You can never say it too many times, but it is the #1 killer of children ages 1 to 4. And a lot of parents, new parents, when they don't know that, right? Nobody talks about what they're more concerned about, your car seats and your choking, and nobody thinks about the swimming pool.
My parents started Lifesaver Pool Fence when I was a small child. I was about 5 years old when they founded the company. And they started off doing childproofing. Eventually they saw that there was this gap in the backyard. That area just wasn't being protected. It wasn't part of the plan. So that's when they started looking into solutions. And it was around that same time that my parents were taking me to all these doctor's appointments. I have cerebral palsy, I use a wheelchair. They were meeting all these other parents with children who had symptoms really similar to mine, but they were survivors of a non-fatal drowning. Eventually, my dad went on to coin the term layers of protection, which is now the de facto standard in how people talk about water safety. That was an idea and a phrase that he coined in 1989.
I'm Michael. I'm the operations manager here at Lifesaver Pool Fence. It is my job to make sure that our manufacturing processes are as efficient as possible every day, and that we are bringing the highest quality product to market possible. Things that make me passionate about my job, it's one thing to come to work every day and work at a place just to make ends meet. But I personally love working here because the team is great, so it feels like home. I don't have to wake up every day and regret getting to work. Like I put my socks on with a little pep in my step. It's also just like a great added bonus where we're helping to save lives. There's no way to truly measure how many children won't drown due to our product, and how many kids will survive and get to live a full life and go on to become maybe the next president or an astronaut, or someone that's going to develop the next great medicine and really change the world because they were able to live out their whole life.
At Lifesaver, while other companies have this kind of line of malarkey about how the employees there are a family and everybody treats each other like a family, at Lifesaver, I think if you ask any of the people that work there, they would tell you that while other people talk the talk, we really walk the walk. And everybody really does get along like a family. In some cases because they're actually family. Kate and Christian are husband and wife. Me and my brother, are there, helping run the business. At one point, Mike McGahee and his wife were both there. We have literal families that work there. So, it is a family in a lot of ways. And like I mentioned before, we all know each other outside of Lifesaver. So besides just being together at work, I have, potlucks events, and I go to concerts with all the same people that I work with, right? So We have this real sense of community that's different from other places. If you want to go fast, you go fast alone, but if you want to go far, you do it with a team. And we're trying to go far.
It feels really good to be a part of a company that, deals with water safety or helps children in general. The real benefit is, the impact that you have for these families. Making the money is just a side thing, right? It's the bonus. The real prize is putting smiles on their face. And, when you leave that house after you've done an installation, you can tell that the families are, they're grateful. They know their kid's going to be safe, so it's a warming feeling.
A lot of careers where they focus on saving lives, like such as a paramedic, people know that that's their main focus when they start at that job or that career. There's training that goes into those things, but I don't think people think about careers that lay outside of like immediate emergencies. Those fields require somebody that's passionate about it as well, and companies that are passionate about it. That's one of the things that I'm grateful for having here, is that this team is passionate about saving lives of children.
Lifesaver pool fence is different from first a traditional fence in that mesh pool safety fencing is specifically designed for child safety. So unlike, say, a wrought iron fence around a pool, the mesh makes it difficult to climb. The self-closing, self-latching gate is only for pool safety. So I say that there's always a big difference between a pool fence, which is what we sell, and a fence around a pool, which is what you get with like a wrought iron fence.
It's not one of those products that you can, put a number on a piece of paper, how many children's lives that were saved, but that the number has to be, fairly high. Every house that has a pool that a child grew up safe and didn't have a drowning incident, technically in my eyes is a life saved, because you never know what could have happened had that fence not been there. So I feel like the community impact is tremendous.
We've had our pool fence since day one when we moved into this property, and I can't imagine not having one. It's like taking your kids for a drive without putting them in their car seat or using a safety belt. One of the best parts of Lifesaver Pool Fence Company is how generous they are and how committed and dedicated they are to making a difference in the community.
We are constantly partnering with the water safety community to do everything we do. We have committed to sponsoring every water safety nonprofit event in the country.
We won't stop, and we want to continue until every home in America has a pool fence.
It's exciting to see the dreams of my parents become realized through me, despite having a disability and despite living with a cerebral palsy, and to see all the lessons that my mom told me as a kid coming true, that I wasn't going to be a roofer, but if I used my brain, it was going to turn out all right.